guys? Welcome back to the GSL. It's time for some Code A.
Round of 16 this time. We are done with round of 32 as of yesterday. It'll be interesting.
First up, we've got Luvsic versus Dream. Two very interesting names clashing together here. You know, sometimes when you're lovesick, you dream about it. I don't know. I just thought of this like right now. I just thought I'd go with it. This is going to be a TVZ. Dream, obviously a Terran player, actually knocked out our own FXO Moonin from the qualifiers.
He did indeed.
Yep, he's on the team MVP. Luvsic, he is actually also known as OGSJ, as far as I know. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So I just want to make sure of that, yeah. So, as you guys can see down the bottom of the screen, you should try some Pepsi next. I actually never tried it before I came here. It's really good. It's like, it's different than Diet Pepsi. It has a different taste to it. It still has no calories. It's like Pepsi Zero, you know, type of thing. I don't know if there's a difference between Pepsi Zero and Pepsi Next, but all I know is that Pepsi Next is pretty good because I've had it a few times since I've been here.
I just get whatever one's closest when I walk into the fridge at a 7-Eleven or something. I just go, yeah, that one. I don't really pay attention to the different types. But that's just me.
You know, I went to the 24-hour mart the other day, and Karn was with me, and he said, don't get Pepsi Next. I don't like it. It tastes weird. And I was like, just because you said that, I'm going to get it. And then it was really good. It tasted different, though. But also, follow GomTV at GomTV on Twitter, and also go to m.gomtv.net. Check out the mobile site. It's a great way to watch VODs on your phone. Also, look up the schedule, look up stats and things like that. Also, follow me on Twitter at FXOWolf. Follow him on Twitter at FXOUnstable. We're both casters here at the GSL and for FXO, and also coaches for FXO. I'm also a player for FXO. It's like, we do so much stuff.
We do. It does get draining sometimes, but we're here in South Korea.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
No. You're in South Korea. What can you complain about? You have nothing to complain about. My tooth kind of hurts. No, shut up.
That's right. So what other players we got on today, Wolf?
What other players do we have going on today? A lot of different players. We've got Noble S coming up.
Yep.
Who else do we have? We've got 3 TVZs. Czech's playing against Noble S. We've got Tassadar playing against... Who's Tassadar playing against? Ryung, that's right. I was like, the Slayers player, I was like, it's not MMA, it's not Ganji, it's that other Terran guy, it's Ryung. So,
Yep.
3 TVZs and a TVP. So all the matchups today.
No mirror matchups?
All the races, not all the matchups.
Yeah,
That's actually so hard to make happen. Alright, so here's a look at our round of 16 brackets. We've got Dream versus Luvsic obviously today, as well as Lenok versus Yoda. That's the one matchup I didn't mention, which is actually maybe the most epic match today. Czech versus Noble S and Tassadar versus Ryung. Down at the bottom of the bracket there for tomorrow, we've got Tails versus Bonbons, Sheth versus Puzzle, Happy versus Yu-Gi-Oh!, and Genro versus ASD Foyu. Some stacked matches there. Remember, a lot of these players are really, really good. Just haven't seen them before, like Puzzle, like Yoda. I mean, we've seen Yoda now, we've seen Puzzle now, but before this season, you just kind of heard about them. You didn't really know how good they were, but they're coming up.
Yeah, Yoda really broke out in the team league against MVP. So, no, not against MVP. What am I talking about?
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
Yoda did play last in the team league.
Yep.
Against Dongri-gu, was it?
No. See, now I'm just confusing you as well.
Stop confusing me. We're actually the most confused casters ever. Is TSL, is Trickster leaving TSL? Is Fruitia leaving TSL? I don't know. We just confuse each other. We make each other doubt ourselves. No little tooltip down there for Dream today. It makes me sad, but obviously he did advance to the round of 16 by taking out I Am Ready.
It was a 2-0 though, so
Yeah.
some strong press. Some strong play by him. But he also had one of the hardest Code A qualifier groups as well, so we expect a lot from him coming through into the Code A. And on the other hand, we have here is OGS Luvsic, also known as OGSJ in a lot of circles, plays a lot of online tournaments, came through Creator Prime 2-1, and that was actually a really impressive series.
Yeah, Creator Prime is actually a Protoss a lot of people didn't know about until recently, and a lot of people still really count him out because he's lost in the round of 64, then losing in the round of 32 in Code A. But even so, he's really, really a good Protoss, and he's really young too, so he's on Prime, one of the best teams in the world. He's got a lot of great practice partners to work with, and a lot of time to really improve.
Yep. Well, that's what happens with all these players in Code A, except for Shiny Star. Unfortunately, he was knocked out yesterday by Liquid Jinro.
Yeah.
Showed some promise though. The maps here for this set are going to be Metalopolis, Crossfire, and Terminus. These maps, if anyone's not sure how this works, each player gets one veto, and then the rest are randomly picked. So it's very, very difficult to work out exactly how you want to play before you get the maps are announced. Really plays into the stronger player will advance.
Most likely. Now, Metalopolis is a map that's pretty balanced, pretty open. It's a map everyone's played on before. It's in the ladder. Of course, there are no close spawns here at the GSL. Map's loading up.
It is.
Just loading up. Just be a little bit more patient, guys. I know you guys are like on the edge of your seat. I just want to keep calling Luvsic Jay because that's what he's always been called. Now they're calling him Luvsic. I'm like, when did that
we did a lot of our tournaments, and it was always OGSJ, and now it's just weird to have to call him Luvsic, but that's alright. So as soon as we get into this game, we will go straight into it.
Yeah.
I don't know, who do you think's going to edge this one out?
I don't know. I feel like Luvsic's pretty good at ZVT. So I think I would give the advantage to him. What do you think?
I think it's 50-50 at this stage. Dream does have some impressive play behind him. That being said, we did see some good games between Luvsic and Creator Prime as well. So it's going to be 50-50.
All right, the game's starting. Let's go into it right now. All right, up here at the top position, a member of the team MVP, spawning as the Teal Terran. Shown some impressive play. Took out Moonin in the qualifiers. He is.
MVP, Dream.
Korean commentator there dreaming about MVP Dream. Checking with his... Oh, hold that thought. Right now, we have Luvsic down here at the bottom position. I said his name.
Luvsic.
Whoops.
It's okay because Gisato has the justifiable shirt on, so it's justifiable that I said his name. You can justify anything when we wear that shirt.
Yeah. So we do have vertical spawns here on Metalopolis for our first game, and it looks like we're actually going to see... Whoop, I can't see on this screen. We're going to see nothing. That's what we're going to see.
Luvsic going for a pass scout.
Yeah.
Looked like he was going to be going for a hatch first, and both unstable. Now we're going, that's a little bit too fast for that drone. So he's just going to be scouting with that one first, right off the bat.
There we go, but he's going to go follow it up with a fast expand. A lot of Zergs these days preferring to speedling expand just to be very safe against any kind of openers or extremely aggressive play by our Terrans, but not this time.
Yep, here comes that drone now. Running around the edge, going up that ramp. Dream not going to be able to block him out, unfortunately. Is he going to come over here and see this gas? Now I'm thinking we may see a reactor Hellion opening from Dream. That has been kind of the trend right now. People moved away from it. They've been moving back towards it.
Yeah, especially Blue Flame. We've seen a lot more Blue Flame plays than normal, as we did see a game last night with Fruit Dealer that everyone should check out. Go to the vlogs there on gomtv.net.
Definitely watched those VODs of Fruit Dealer last night. They're very interesting. If you like carnage and lots of things blowing up, and you should definitely watch that. So here comes the SCV scout in here. Sees the hatchery first. He's going to know no gas as well. So
well, until now.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Did he see that as he was running away, though? That's the question.
He didn't, but it's good to know. I mean, he knows it's going to be going up soon, but he knows right off the bat, Zergling Speed's not going to be out for a while. He's just now adding that gas. It's going to be a pretty decent time. He's actually making a Reaper right now. Does have a Marine on one of the watchtowers. Probably going to send that Reaper to the second one and then bounce into the base of Luvsic. Remember, because Luvsic isn't getting Zergling Speed for a while, using that Reaper can be quite deadly, and also he's making a command center behind all of this. Yeah,
we are seeing these Reapers become more and more frequent here in TVZ, just because it does get you the scouting you want a little bit after the drone, after the SCV has to bug out, and you can get quite a few drones as well, if you can control it correctly.
This is true, and there's that very same Reaper we were talking about. It's going to jump over here to the tower. It may pick off a Zergling on its way, and it will. Saves the SCV's life. He's going to come up here, jump in, wants to see if there's a Roach Warren, and indeed there is, so he's going to want to go and check for that.
Luvsic pulling his queen a little bit, trying to keep this Reaper out of the base. Needs to be careful not to go off creep, as the Reaper does outrange that. Jumps down to the bottom of the cliff.
Nice control there by Dream. Doesn't actually take any hits on that Reaper. Double factory is going down, so we are going to see Blue Flame, like you were mentioning earlier. It's pretty popular into the mid-game of this matchup. Dream, though, still not scouting that Roach Warren just yet with the Reaper.
Yeah, he's just being very safe with this Reaper. A lot of the times you see people run around inside the base, lose it very quickly, but they do get their scouting information. But I like how Dream's keeping it alive as long as possible to constantly sit there. And it looks like he might actually see a couple of these roaches as they come out. Blue Flames just started for him as well. And if we do see some kind of attack here with the roaches, he will need a couple of bunkers.
This is true. Command Center is being morphed into an orbital. Second factory finishing up here. Blue Flame has started, as we were mentioning earlier. He's starting to throw that bunker down. That is natural. He wants to move that Command Center down ASAP because without siege tanks, you're going to have those bunkers up. You want to put it down as soon as possible. Start getting that economy because you can make siege tanks later, but during this timing, you want to get as many Hellions out as possible.
Yeah, but we do have a very quick third here for Luvsic. He's actually running one of his roaches all the way across. Looks like he's just going to poke in with this roach, see what's going on.
Yep, and this roach will actually be the first roach spotted by Dream. He had no idea prior to this that there were roaches out.
He knows now there's one roach in the main, in the natural here. You might actually try and block that from going down. Just pulling back, doesn't want to sit in range of those two Marines inside that bunker. But we do now have a Baneling Nest being morphed here for him as well.
The Baneling Nest means he most likely wants to be aggressive. Going for Banelings against Hellions is a little bit odd. When your opponent's trying to use Hellions against you, Banelings aren't going to be very good for defense. Of course, you can have Banelings there so that the Hellions can't really advance past the Banelings. The Banelings can just block off. That Roach will take out that Reaper. Bit of a blunder there by Dream. But I think he wants to get those Banelings to possibly be a little bit aggressive. This Roach is going to be taken out by Hellions. Blue Flame, though, has been scouted, so he knows what's going on. Has made an evolution chamber to help wall off at his natural, but here come the Hellions. Aren't very many roaches here.
Yeah, there are only 3 roaches, but he does have that queen as well. They will probably take out 1, possibly 2, but no, it looks like Dream is actually going to back off with these Hellions. He has, of course, seen that quick third.
And there's no drones there just yet, but he's going to come over here and try to get anything he can find. Going to dart past these roaches. Does lose 1 Hellion, but still has 5 full health Hellions. Well, the health's starting to get a little low on those Hellions now.
Yeah, nice positioning on that queen by Luvsic. He didn't allow those to get through. He's going to get a couple of drones here as they come out of the third hatchery, but still going to be completely shut down. Did nowhere near as much damage as he wanted it to.
Yeah, it's a huge investment. There were some more Hellions in the natural during all of this, but they actually were not able to secure any kills at all. Like you said, that good queen positioning also has roaches on hold position, so the Hellions just could not sneak by and attack the drones. Right now, tanks being made for Dream. When after you, the Hellions don't do a lot of damage and your opponent has roaches out, you just have to go into tanks. You can't continue to make Hellions. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it is. So Dream making a second tech lab on a second factory, has switched a lot of his barracks. He's adding a 5th barracks as these Hellions continue to harass. Some trying to sneak into the natural again. The Queen and the roaches, the Evo chamber, blocking those out. Great job by Luvsic.
He's also got roaches on the right-hand side as well, taking out another Hellion that's trying to come in here and do a lot of damage, but so far, Dream just being completely shut down, and the supply now for Luvsic is starting to tear ahead. He's now at 102 supply to 67 of Dream, getting a lot of upgrades as well, +1 armor, Baneling speed, roach speed. He's just completely shutting down any kind of harass that Dream's trying to do.
Great job spreading his roaches around. That's one thing he's doing, is spreading his creep, which is extremely helpful. We can see when the Hellions are coming, where they're coming from, but also he just keeps his roaches all spread out across the map. So when the Hellions run by, they're always taking damage from something. In this case, being a queen. But the roaches will come, rejoin the fight.
Queen took a lot of damage there as well.
Spire going down for Luvsic, roach speed finishing up here. Once he gets that roach speed and the Spire, he's going to be able to go into a pretty healthy mid-game. Here come those Hellions, though. Yeah,
there are still roaches positioned over here on the right-hand side. A Spine Crawler as well, just not allowing these Hellions to do any damage whatsoever. Looks like he's going to chase these down. Coming in from the left with more roaches as well. Picks off a lot and has now cornered them up in the right-hand main.
And most likely just leave a few roaches at the bottom of that ramp to catch them as they come down. Seeing his roaches actually on the aggressive, there you can see Dream does not have a huge defense for this, but his siege mode is done. He's got 3 tanks there. Should be able to hold this with no problem. Luvsic, though, just wants to get aggressive. His roach speed has finished. He does have +1 carapace. I don't think this will do a lot of damage, though.
No, those siege tanks are in a great position there. We did just see a medivac being loaded up, going for a drop over on the left-hand side as well, but there's a lot of speedlings joining the mix here for Luvsic's army. He's now at 150 supply, getting a macro hatch in his main. A scan goes down to see that Spire as well.
And here comes that drop. He wants to get over here and hit before the mutas. Actually, he's going to We'll get a shot of it in a second. He lands his drop in a very unusual position. Luvsic getting very aggressive on the map, moving around. He has Baneling speed. He's got a lot of those speed roaches. Speedlings in the mix as well. Just checking around, wants to catch Dream's army moving out. If he catches Dream's army moving out unsieged, he'll be able to crush through it. So he's just moving around with that army, nothing wrong with it. Not taking any risks with it though. Some mutas have been made. He made 2 mutas actually. Now 5 more on the way. Yeah. Wants to get those mutas out to shut down the possible drops he knows are coming.
We do have Dream moving out here with all these forces. He's going to be has to be careful because there is 173 supply of units here for Luvsic. He's got actually Lings coming around the back, and there is actually no units in those bunkers either.
Yeah, these Lings could do a lot of damage, especially if he hides them and makes them into Banelings and then tags. May decide to do that. Again though, Dream moving forward with a relatively large force. He stemmed some Marines and Marauders forward just to check and see if there's anything up there. That scan is going to trigger Luvsic to get on the defensive. He knows what's coming.
Moving forward a little bit at a time here. More scans going down, trying to take out those creep humans. And oh, here we go. Luvsic going. There is siege tanks are not seized just yet. The mutas are focusing down the tanks. Baneling's rolling through. He's trying to split as best he can, but there's just too many units.
There are so many units rolling forward here. Luvsic cleans up that army. Only the drop ships remain, but a drop over here will get cleaned up most likely by these speed banes. Absolutely cleaned up. And the dropship's even going to fall to these mutas. And almost loses a muta to a turret. I was sitting there with my mouth open like, I can't believe he's going to lose that muta. Didn't lose it.
Luvsic is actually now maxed yet again. He's also taking a 4th base over at the 3 o'clock main that is spotted by that dropship coming up, but he just has so many units here. He's doubled the supply for Dream, getting a lot more Banelings, getting upgrades as well. 19 Banelings in production in the Infestation Pit. The 3rd only now just going up for Dream.
Right now, Luvsic has a massive, huge army full of Speedlings and Roaches. Banelings even has some mutas. Dream, he's got about 2 siege tanks and 2 dropships full of medevacs. He's in a position to do almost nothing. He can't drop, he can't move out, he can't take a 3rd base. Luvsic is just constricting him here. He has made a 3rd command center, but that command center is not going anywhere right now.
No, it's not.
So, as you can see, 4 siege tanks now out. There's a bunker full of Marines. There's a dropship there. He's going to try to get aggressive here, but there are so many units out for Luvsic. And he's going to attack the natural, running forward here. Roaches moving at the front. The Speedlings now surrounding. Banelings going forward. Tons of SCVs trying to repair that one bunker. They will all be killed by these Banelings. This is looking like it's going to be the end. GG. Luvsic totally outclassing Dream in that game. Shut his Hellions down at every turn.
Well, Dream put a lot of effort into those weak flame Hellions. He wanted to do a lot of damage with them as well, and it was just shut down left, right, and center. He just got extremely outplayed here in this game. That's what it comes down to, every which way in the micro, in the harass, everything.
So, when you make an investment like that and you go for Blue Flame Hellions, go for 2 factory Blue Flame Hellions, and you don't do any damage, it's okay. You know, it's not a good place to be in, but you have to get your siege tanks really fast. He made, I think, just maybe 2 or 3 too many rounds of Hellions. If you get those siege tanks out, that means you can kind of move forward and be aggressive, because without the siege tanks, you can't be aggressive. You can't be aggressive with just Marines and Hellions. He didn't even have that many Marines, to be honest, though.
Yeah.
He got those drops out. The drops were just a little bit too late. Then he had the one drop that he could have used before mutas are out, and he knew the Spire wasn't done. And then we didn't get a shot of it, but he had the drop over at the 9 o'clock position as if he was going to drop, but then he forgot about it or something and just left it there for so long. Didn't use it. Could have done a lot more damage. He also had a 2nd dropship that he didn't use. I think maybe not. I don't want to say he got nervous, but he just didn't play to his best at all.
No, not in that game. We'll see if he can bring it back in the next game, though. These are, of course, best of 3. We'll move on into the round of 8, and regardless, Dream is still in Code A for next season as well.
Yeah.
So there's not that much pressure on him right now. Of course, there is to keep going, but it's not a win or a do or die situation like we saw in the round of 32. And well, hopefully he can bring it back and show what he can really do.
Yeah, Code A is getting more and more important, though. For those of you guys who don't know, the players, you know, I know some of you guys haven't been watching since the beginning of Code A, but back in the very first season of Code A, it was, you know, it was very easy to get into Code A relative to now, and so there were so many players in Code A. A lot of them were not very good. Nowadays, though, everyone in Code A is pretty good. I mean, everyone who plays in the qualifiers, I would say they're pretty good. So the level of Code A is getting higher and higher. And remember, all of these guys that are still here are going to go to the up and down matches. And everyone who loses in Code S is extremely good. So, you know, like Marine King, for example, he's in the up and down matches. So if someone tries to advance, they're going to have to go through him. And he's going to have to go through them.
We also saw MMA drop down to Code B as well.
Yeah.
Recently coming off a win from MLG, as well as some impressive Team League results. And he's in Code B now.
Yeah.
So, but we'll
That's
see how we
pretty
go.
rough.
As we do go into the next game.
Yeah, the map
very
is up
shortly.
and loaded. It's Crossfire. I'm going to jump into it in a second. As soon as the Korean commentators wrap it up. Any second now. All right, let's go into it.